darling. Join me as we transform Mabel here. She is a doodle and she needs a groom. She's looking rather fluffy. So before we get into it, I've already bath and dried her. She's had a good fluff dry, and it's a thorough prep is important for trying to get a good finish. But all the knots are out and it's ready to start clipping. Settle in, enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, comment, even if it is just for Mabel here. And we are going to go step by step grooming this little doodle. So I'm first going to trim the body. I always start with the body, and I'm going to use a 30 blade with an attachment comb 3, which is the blue colour, which is 3/8 of an inch or 10mm length of coat left. So that's the length I'm going to do on the body. And I start about 2 fingers behind the occipital bone, and I'm going to work down the top line to the base of the tail. Right, up we get. Once I've gone once down the top line, I'm going to come around the sides of the neck. I'm then going to work from the shoulder to the elbow, taking this coat off. And then I'm going to go down this bit which I've just missed from the top line, and then around the body. And then when it gets to the back leg, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. Can we see? Imagine a little C going from there, from your tuck up through to the tail. A little nice rounded shape. And then I will follow that little shape. And that's because I will trim the legs on a longer length. Now then, you will never get all the coat off in one swoop. So you get a sticker brush. Mabel, can you stand up, darling? Good girl. Brush the coat in the wrong direction, so it's standing up, and then we're going to repeat that process again. And then one more time, just for luck. Beautiful, my darling. And now you want to do the exact same thing on the other side of the body. I won't film that bit because you don't need to see it again. Now that we've cleared both sides of the body, we're now going to trim the throat area. So we keep a nice elongated head, hold it up so there's no skin, and then work down. You were doing such a good job. Yes, you are, my darling. You are such a good girl. And then we're going to trim under the belly here. So I'm going to start by going down the chest and through between the legs. And then I'm going to ask Mabel to stand up so I can get underneath. Come on. Good girl. Come on. So now, pro tip. If you have a dog which gets knotty armpits, particularly if they wear a harness, we're going to clip out the armpits. I'm going to use my 10 blade. For this, darling, we do need you up a bit. So your natural plane of movement on a front leg is forwards and backwards. It does not go sideways. It's not natural, so it will hurt if you pull it too far. So literally just do the tiniest, pull out, and then take your blade in to get any knots out. And then we'll do that for your other side. The next job we're going to do is start trimming the shape into the foot. So we're going for a nice round foot. Mabel here will probably lie down. Excellent. So I'm just going to brush the coat out. I trim across the back of the paw pad. Make sure that coat is out. And I'm just going nice rounded shape. I'm not worrying about the top of the foot just yet because I'll do that when I do the legs. We're just making sure the shape is okay because then we can trim into the foot. Brush it out and do it again. I will apologise if the sound quality is dreadful. I've not found a good microphone to use for my phone. If anyone has any recommendations, I've got my iPhone, whatever, I don't know, within the last couple of years, whatever they are, I need a microphone for that. I know I'm going to do a close-up of foot. You can actually see what I did. So cross the back paw pad. Make sure you're not getting the paw pad in the blade, because then you'd have a very upset doodle. Just pull that coat out. Just going around, getting my nice rounded shape. Preferably your dog would be standing with its paws backwards to save you bending over like a little teapot, which is never going to be good for your back. However, Mabel is much more comfortable like this, and I want to make sure that she has a good experience here, because when she first started coming, she did not want to come in. However, now she gets quite excited to come in, but that's about it. As you can see here, Mabel is doing the downward dog pose, but What we want to do now that we trim the shape into the feet is take the bulk of the coat off. So I'm actually using an attachment comb 5 now over my 30 blade, which is the yellow comb. It leaves 5/8 of an inch, yeah, and 16 millimetres of hair on the coat. So I'm just going to take the bulk off initially and then I will scissor it in. Now I'm going to repeat that process on the front leg. Excuse me, my darling. I do need you to stand up. Thank you. Now do that on the other 2 legs and then we can get into scissoring them. First things first, where you can see where the join is from the body to the leg here, I'm just going to use my blending scissors and work along to create a seamless transition from leg to body. And you use your blending scissors because that'll leave a bit of a more gentle finish, but also much more difficult to mess it up with blending scissors than it is with straights. Great. And now we can shape the leg. So I'm just going to comb it out. So what I want to do for Mabel here is just follow the natural shape of this leg. So I'll start at the front and I'm just going to, I need to bring you in a bit so I can, there we go, that's a bit better. So I'll start at the front, just follow in that natural shape. Just going to blow away that hair, brush the coat up so you can find any straggly ends, and we'll do that again. Nice. And now for the back side, you brush that coat out, and similarly you want to get a natural shape. You might want to put a bit more roundness onto the butt. Alright, it's completely down to the style you're going for. And we just gently taking away into the hock. Now brush up. You need to stand for me, darling. Thank you. We're going to brush up the hock. So now, I'll just brush everything up. Look from all angles, look for stragglers, and then just, if you see them, just trim them off. Be nice and light with your scissors, because you don't want to put any nasty lines into the coat. See some nasties there. And you really want to be holding your scissors like facing down, because you could easily put god awful lines in, which would not be ideal. So, what do we think of that? I think that's all right. Bit of a and that looks quite smart. Trimming the front leg here, we want to come off the angle at the elbow, trim down, be careful of the, I can't remember what it's called, little bit of, you know, pad, sharp way up. You do not want to cut into that. Make sure you feel for that beforehand. And then you've got a nice D shape on your front leg. And we're going to brush it up again and repeat. And then make sure you're working around the leg so it looks good from all angles. When it comes to trimming the head, I'm using my attachment comb 5. I'm going to take the bulk off the back and round the sides again. Just trim onto the tops of the ears to elongate them, and then I'm going to scissor it all in and tidy it up. With my blending scissors, a nice seamless transition from where I've trimmed from the head into the body. Next, I want to clear the corners of these eyes. So use my blending scissors pointing up, so if she were to move her head, it would move out the way and not affect her. And on the other side, pointing down and away from the face. Mabel hasn't got the sort of coat that will stand up nicely, it will always droop. So for me, clearing the bridge of that nose is the neatest look we can get. And then just clearing along the sides as well. Then want to comb the coat forward on top of her head. And then with my straight scissors, I'm just going to do a nice half moon on her visor here. Great. Now if I just comb down the sides here, I'm going to clear from behind the ear and then I want a nice rounded muzzle. Going sort of round and into the ear. Be careful of the ear, you don't want to snip that. And then do that on the other side. I'm just going to use my scissors to gently clear away these little tufts of hair. Be careful of the skin. If your dog is moving around, do not do it. And then I'm going to take off the bottom of the muzzle here. And then round everything into it. And then we're going to do the top of the head. Finally, for the ears, I'm just going to brush them down. Just take a little gentle bit off the bottom, following that natural shape. Make sure you hold to feel where the ear leather is, so you do not cut into that, because that would not be a nice thing to have to deal with. Isn't that right, Mabel, darling? One beautiful little doodle. If you have used this video to help you groom your doodle, please take a picture, tag me in it. I am on all the various social media platforms, so I would love to see it. Come on then, good girl. Let's go.